Hello everybody, we're going to hit you up with a presidential election. This one, the election of 1908. Two new candidates being put into the ring to see who wins the White House. Who's going to get it done? Let's find that out right now. Now we're going to start off with the incumbent party, and that is the Republican Party. The incumbent president, Teddy Roosevelt, decides not to run for another full term as president because he felt that his full term that he was elected to in 1904 was his second term, so he decided he kept a promise not to run in 1908. So with Teddy Roosevelt not running, the Republican nomination is wide open, and it comes down to Vice President Charles W. Fairbanks of Indiana, Senator Joseph B. Foraker of Ohio, Senator Philander C. Knox of Pennsylvania, Senator Robert M. La Follette Sr. of Wisconsin, L. M. Shaw of Iowa, and Teddy Roosevelt's Secretary of War, William Howard Taft of Ohio. At the end of the day, it is going to be Taft who receives the Republican nomination for president. Teddy Roosevelt really wanted Taft to succeed him as president, and the Republican Party obliges. Taft's going to bring along for the ride James S. Sherman, congressman from New York, as his running mate. Now that we have the Republican ticket of Taft and Sherman, let's go to the Democrats. Now the Democrats, they're going to put out their own slate of candidates. They are William Jennings Bryan of Nebraska, George Gray of Delaware, and the governor of Minnesota, John A. Johnson. But overwhelmingly, at the Democratic National Convention, William Jennings Bryan receives the nomination. This is the third and final time that William Jennings Bryan runs for the presidency. He's going to bring along for the ride John W. Kern of Indiana as his running mate. Now that we have the Republican ticket of Taft and Sherman and the Democratic ticket of Bryan and Kern, let's put these guys into the ring and let's see who wins this thing. Now, with the issue of free silver no longer dominant, William Jennings Bryan campaigned on a progressive platform, attacking government by privilege. His campaign slogan, "Shall the People Rule," was featured on numerous posters and campaign memorabilia. However, Taft undercut Bryan's liberal support by accepting some of his reformist ideas, and Teddy Roosevelt's progressive policies blurred the distinctions between the parties. Republicans also used the slogan, "Vote for Taft now, you can vote for Bryan anytime," a sarcastic reference to Bryan's two failed previous presidential campaigns, 1896 and 1900. Now, businessmen continued to support the Republican Party, and Bryan failed to secure the support of labor. As a result, Bryan ended up with the worst of his three defeats in the national popular vote. He lost almost all the northern states to Taft and the popular vote by 8 percentage points. Now, this would be Bryan's last campaign for the presidency, although he would remain a popular figure within the Democratic Party, because as I said earlier, him and his supporters would have control of the party until the 1920s, and in 1912 would play a key role in securing the presidential nomination for Woodrow Wilson. Now, his brother Charles W. Bryan would become the Democratic nominee for vice president in 1924. That video will be coming out tomorrow. Now, Oklahoma is the newest state to join the Union, so 46 states participated in this presidential election. and William Jennings Bryan remained popular with the more liberal and populist elements of the Democratic Party, and he pretty much attacked the nation's business elite. William Jennings Bryan and pretty much ran the same type of campaign that he did his last two campaigns, canvassed the country, giving speeches, and things of that nature. Now, William Jennings Bryan is not going to go away. As I've said, he's going to be instrumental at the Democratic National Convention in 1912. He and his supporters are going to have control of the party until the 1920s, and he would be a lawyer in the Scopes trial of 1925, and he would end up dying after a few days after the trial concluded. So with that in mind, let's go to the results. William Jennings Bryan, he's going to suffer the worst loss of his 3 presidential campaigns. Taft's going to win the presidency, 321 votes in the Electoral College to 162 for William Jennings Bryan. 29 states end up voting for Taft, while 17 states end up voting for William Jennings Bryan. In terms of the popular vote, it's going to be 51.6% for Taft and 43% for William Jennings Bryan. And with that in mind, coming up next, we'll be talking about the next presidential election, 1912. It's going to be a little bit cray-cray, so be prepared for that. If you haven't seen any of my previous videos, go on ahead and watch those if you want. And with that, we will see you next time, and have an excellent day.